Hello and welcome everyone to the CyVerse webinar series. I'm Tina Lee, CyVerse's User Engagement Officer. We are pleased to welcome you to our final webinar of 2023 presented by Dr. Carlos Lizárraga, a computation and data science educator with the University of Arizona's Data Science Institute. First, I'm going to cover some very light housekeeping and then Carlos will take over. First, please save the date for our next Foundational Open Science Skills virtual workshop. It's going to be an 8 weekly 2-hour sessions on Thursdays, starting January 25th and going all the way through to March 14th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time. From foundational principles of open science to open source tools and skills to use them, FOSS gives early career researchers, educators, and students at all levels the toolkit they need to start or strengthen their open science work. I'll put the link to FOSS webpage later in the chat. It's already there for those who've already joined, but I'll put it in again. So that's the important announcement. And today's webinar is about 30 minutes long with time at the end for your questions for Carlos. Please open your Zoom chat window, type your questions in there, and Carlos can address them after his presentation. As always, we record these webinars and I will post the video recording and the QR code to Carlos's slide presentation on our website. So now I am pleased to introduce Carlos. Carlos is, as I mentioned, with the Data Science Institute and as a member of the DSI education team. He leads the data lab where researchers and students from diverse disciplines come together collaboratively to explore, analyze, and extract insights for data-driven discovery and knowledge. Before joining DSI, Carlos was an applied research scientist and retired professor from the physics department at the University of Sonora, where he taught a computational physics course using Python for data analysis and numerical computing. Welcome, Carlos.
Okay, thank you, Tina. Thank you, everyone, for connecting. So I'll start talking about what we are going to be seeing today. So this is the talk. There's a link. You can use your phone or probably just type on tiny URL, CyVerse webinar. Okay. So this is the presentation plan. I will talk a little bit about the motivation, why we are interested in having geospatial data. And then we will find a lot of resources available for free on Earth and space data sets. Also, we will see a little bit about the different platforms that NASA, NOAA, and USGS and other federal agencies have developed in order to analyze their data. Also, parallel to this, the European Union also has different data set platforms for doing geospatial analysis. And also we have the commercial side of geospatial data platforms. I will talk a little bit about what is the state of the art in geospatial data formats and a little bit of what we can expect in the future when we fusion geospatial and artificial intelligence. And then I'll show some examples of different applications on the main geospatial analysis platforms. And if you like to stay after the talk, I'll perform some geospatial data analysis using CyVerse discovery environment. So that's the plan. So what's the main motivations? The US per year is estimated that this year will spend $150 billion just to, that will be the economic impact of extreme weather events. Last year, it was like $165 billion. So we need to address and monitor these types of events, even try to forecast them, because at the end, if we can forecast the events, we can try to warn the general population and try to minimize the number of deaths so people don't suffer losses. And on the right-hand side, you can see a picture of the global deaths from disasters over a century. So you can see that as time has been progressing, there are less and less number of deaths. And some of these events we can predict. Of course, volcanic activity is still not available for doing forecasts, but we can forecast storms, we can forecast extreme temperature, landslides, even wildfires and droughts. So that's the main motivation why we should be interested in analyzing geospatial data. And you will find that there's a world out there of environmental data where you can focus on information about agriculture and water, air quality, biological diversity, disasters, diseases, the geographical information systems applied in urban areas, following up or monitoring greenhouse gases, also monitoring the sea level change, and also extreme events. Okay, so the first federal agency that has a family or a fleet of different satellites for doing different tasks to do monitoring on weather, land surface changes, land temperature, sea surface temperature, also monitor the availability of water resources, and monitor the extension of ice caps, etc. So there's a whole set of different satellites with different sensors, radiometers, measuring and observing not only the surface of the Earth, but also the space science. In the same way, we have another one, the NOAA satellites from the other National Oceanographic and Atmosphere Agency. They also have a fleet of different satellites monitoring all the different events on the surface of the Earth and also space science. So those are the main two sources of data collection over the surface of the Earth. And then these NASA and NOAA are the main generators of data. USGS also has their Landsat satellites. And then the Forest Service and FEMA collect data from these other three sources in order to plan their activities and also programs. There's a new effort from the federal government, which is called geoplatform.gov, and it's a platform focuses on just geospatial data. And remember that since all these agencies are funded by using public funds, so they are mandated to have their data open, and the data is available to everyone. And then on the other side, we have the commercial platforms. We have the Google Earth Engine. Microsoft has its planetary computer. There's Planet Labs and Maxar. And then Sentinel Hub, which handles all the image from the Sentinel satellites from the European Union. Now Sentinel Hub is being bought by Planet, so it will be a single company. Okay. So what type of data can we expect from NASA? So once they are generating so many amounts of different data sets and monitoring continuously, NASA has developed several tools in order to analyze the data sets they generate by the different satellites. So I'll just make a quick browse to the different programs and platforms and dashboards. And the idea is that at the end, you will have several links to different resources. So after the talk, you can continue exploring these data sets, which are freely available. So the first data tool is from NASA, the Disaster Program Dashboard. If you want to track hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, wildfires, volcanoes, severe weather, etc. So this is the address where you can analyze the different or monitor the different events. And then we have another platform, which is the NASA Earth data. And this is just to analyze the different data generated by the satellite fleet. And also you'll find different distributions of assets from NASA from different sites. And then there is the Earth Data Pathfinders. If you want to monitor some phenomena on agriculture, water resources, air quality, all the biological diversity and natural disasters, some vector-borne diseases. There is a system of geographical information. If you want to monitor the greenhouse gases or the quality of health and air, and also sea level change. So this is the Pathfinders, and it's the same address as the other one. And then there is a disasters data toolkits. So this is basically focused on different federal agencies for managing disasters like FEMA. So you can do a follow-up on earthquakes, volcanoes, extreme heat, floods, landslides, cyclones, and wildfires. And the address is in the bottom. And then they have a dashboard where you can view all the different data and combine different layers of different information in order to extract or monitor some specific phenomena that you are interested. And they have historical records, so you can trace back different phenomena or events in order to prevent or to create new programs. So that's the NASA WorldViewer dashboard. And then there's the other agency, which is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So these, they have their own fleet of satellites. And then they have a information service system called NESDIS. And also they have a data discovery portal. So I think I missed one slide. Okay, so NOAA has about 11 satellites plus 6 satellites they are administrating or operating. And this is, again, as satellites, they have geostationary. That means that they just rotate, or according to the Earth's rotation, and they have polar orbiting to using different events. And also they have a deep space satellite. So that's NOAA, and you can find more information and projects about that. And then they have this information service, which is called NESDIS, where you can find interactive maps, all the different satellite imagery. You can track hurricanes, you can track wildfires, and also look at the space weather, which also affects communications, for example, all the solar storms. And they have a discovery portal where you can explore all the different data that NOAA collects from the different satellites. So you can try to extract information from different tasks for different human activities like fisheries or coasts or oceans or weather. And then the third agency is the Geological Survey, and they are also monitoring the Earth, not only from space, but also from the land surface. So they have the alert system. Also, you can monitor in real time different events. They have the Earth Explorer portal. You have a national map viewer where you can overlay different layers of information. And also they have the Landsat product, which is just satellite images, high resolution surface images. And they have a portal where you can study about different hazards and have more information about events on the surface of the Earth. So you can monitor earthquakes, water, landslides, volcanoes, coastal change, and Landsat, and also changes in the geomagnetic field of the Earth. So this is a graphics of how the USGS monitors the planet. So they have over 3,700 seismic stations. They have 13,500 water data sensors. They monitor 3,000 miles of coastlines. They monitor 161 volcanoes. They monitor the changing glaciers. They have the Landsat satellites, and also they are monitoring whatever magnetic changes in the geomagnetic field exists. And this is the Earth Explorer from USGS, where you can do some monitoring of land changes, also vegetation, water, and climate, human health, food security, remote sensing research, climate, and information system. This is the address for the Earth Explorer, where you can go in and select or extract different information from USGS. They have a national map viewer where you can combine different layers. For example, if you're doing hydrology, you can have layers for the digital elevation maps, and also hydrography, also watersheds, extents. And then you can probably plan some hydrological model using different layers, like even soil moisture, land surface types, etc. So that's the national map viewer. They have the USGS, they have the 3D elevation program, which is just trying to map the whole US at high resolution using LiDAR. And LiDAR can have a resolution of even 12 inches, but they are constructing a map, or they have built a map of 1 meter resolution. So you can explore different properties of topography and events at 1 meter resolution. So that's something that is available. And they have a portal where you can explore all the Landsat products. And this is just high resolution pictures of the surface of the planet. On the other hand, we have the European Space Agency. They have their own satellite fleet, and it's called the Copernicus program. And they have the Sentinel satellites, which also have a high resolution, depending on the product, of about 10 meters pixels resolution. And this is the program for the different Sentinels. So maybe you have heard about Sentinel-2, which is very largely used for analyzing different surface phenomena, or monitoring, for example, vegetation indexes, humidity of the surface of the soil, etc. Even for planning. So all these data, which are being collected by federal agency, are free. And that means that people or the general public can access for them. And also scientists who are doing some research can access the data. And there's a movement for open science and reproducible science lately in the last 10 years. So this year is the Year of Open Science declared by the federal government, and all the federal agencies are complying with it. So they're doing all the efforts to put all their data available out there. And also relating geospatial data, there is this OSGeo organization that is pushing open science in the geospatial area. We have Pangeo.io, which is an organization also for training people on geospatial data analysis. They have their project PITIA, which belongs to Pangeo. Also, NASA has its STOPS program, to do everything as an open science. So there's something that we can benefit all from this type of data, and everyone can analyze the data for doing some Earth monitoring. We also have the commercial satellites. We have several companies. The main companies, one is Planet Labs, and the other one is Maxar. Planet also handles around 250 satellites, and Maxar has less than 10 satellites. And these are high-resolution images of the planet, and they are daily. Some products are daily, some products are weekly. And this data is used basically for monitoring like some extreme events, maybe an earthquake, maybe a hurricane, maybe wildfires. So you can, all the data is available in Planet. The U of A has a subscription to Planet, so any researcher or grad student can use Planet. All right. So all the data is available online on different platforms. And for example, Google has its Google Earth Engine. So all the geospatial data is available there. Also, Microsoft has its planetary computer and cloud. So you can also find a collection of different geospatial data sets in planetary computer. Also, they are basically data analysis platforms. Also, NASA, all the NASA data sets are available through NASA. The Planet has its own data sets. Sentinel Hub, which has all the Sentinel different data sets from the European Union. And now Sentinel is being part of Planet, so they will have the same company. Maxar is another option. And then there's a new collection of different catalogs for spatial data, which is called STAC, and I will address it in the next slides. What is the intention? And as I mentioned, GeoPlatform is the new effort from the federal government in order to collect or make accessible all the different geospatial data sets from the different federal agencies. Okay, so what is the trend or the state of the art in geospatial data? So before, we used to visit all the different federal agencies and download. For example, if I was going to do some hydrological study, I have to go into the USGS platform and download the specific area of interest. Maybe they have different maps, so I have to download the map with the coordinates, or the map that includes the area of interest that I want to study. But maybe if the area is very small, I still need to download a large amount of data. And then I do the same if I want to download, for example, the types of soils, the types of land cover, etc. But now all the data is being collected on the cloud, and the different cloud platforms offer you the possibility of just go and extract the information and send back the information in order to be analyzed on your laptop or desktop computer. So you don't have to download all the large amounts of data. So that's called cloud optimized or cloud native data. And there are several platforms that where you can do that type of analysis. You can visit these types of notes from a previous workshop that we gave over the Arizona Geographical Information Conference last year. And so you will find that there are different platforms where you can do this data analysis using cloud native geospatial. For example, you have the Copernicus browser or Google Earth Engine. You have Maxar, you have Planet. Remember, Maxar and Planet are private companies. And we have Planetary Computer from Microsoft, and also Sentinel Hub, which is also commercial. And you will find that there are different new formats. One, remember, geospatial data comes as raster, like images. And now we have cloud-optimized geotiffs and also SAR. SAR is a format that originated in genomics science in order to extract information from different tissues and cells, but now it's being applied in geospatial data. So the idea of cloud-optimized GeoTIFF is the same thing when you open, for example, or something similar when you open Google Maps. You are not downloading all the information. As you start zooming into a special area of interest, then you just are downloading the specific tiles needed to show you the image. On the other hand, we have the vector data format. So we have the cloud-optimized point clouds, which is just LiDAR data, and high resolution, maybe 12 inches. So you just have like the name says, a point of clouds, and then you just construct whatever surface you're studying. Maybe you are interested in studying forest dynamics, so you can just create the clouds that have the shapes of the trees, branches, etc., or just applied in urban scenarios. Then we have the cloud optimized shape files, something vectoral, the same thing that is being handled over the different geographical information systems. Their new format, flat GeoBuff, GeoParquet, PM tiles, those are completely new. The idea is that when you have lots of data to analyze, then you want to optimize the way you represent data. Maybe it's not just a single table, maybe just columnar data in order to speed up or optimize the computing resources needed. GeoJSON is just text files that you can create for studying specific areas of interest. Can be a square, can be some geometrical shape, but you are extracting the coordinates, and then from that coordinates you can give it to your program, and then query some geospatial platform in order to extract the information that you are interested in doing from the satellite data sets. And there is this spatial temporal asset catalog where you can find different data sets, geospatial data sets that are in these new type of formats. Okay. And so what can we expect in the future? If we combine geospatial plus artificial intelligence, there's a new concept, or a concept which is called wearable Earth, where you're combining satellite imagery and also AI. The idea is to have a platform similar to when we are doing search using like Google search engine. Well, we want to have something similar, which is called wearable Earth. And the idea is combine all the different data set, have the appropriate algorithms in order to ask questions to this platform. For example, how many square miles of forest were consumed by wildfires yesterday or the past month? So real questions that you can ask some program, and the program go and collects the data set, different data sets, apply the algorithms in order to extract some information and maybe make some predictions or make some classifications. So that's the idea of the wearable Earth. It's still not here, but you can see there are some efforts by Planet Labs, also Google Earth Engine, Planetary Computer, and there's a new kid in town, which is called Felt. It's just a platform where you upload your different data sets and then try to create different products. So that's something new. Okay, so you can find different applications in Google Earth Engine. You can have guides, catalogs, Google Earth engine you have to program in JavaScript. And then on Microsoft Planetary Computer, you have different applications, and basically in geospatial, the language preferred is Python. So you can find different Jupyter notebooks in the example section that you can apply in order to do different tasks or try to answer different research questions of a geospatial data set. You have Planet also, and then you can see some notebook examples that you can run over CyVerse using a Jupyter Lab geospatial container or app, and also Python has a new set of different libraries in order to handle different geospatial data sets to make the appropriate analysis or to answer a specific question. So that is my presentation, and the next part is if you're interested to stay is to use. I will show you how to use CyVerse in order to do some geospatial analysis using a Jupyter notebook or Jupyter Lab using Python.
Carlos, I'm sorry.
Yes, that's my presentation.
Yeah, just to give people a heads up on about how long is your demonstration, about 3 to 5 minutes?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Are there any questions for Carlos at this time? I mean, that's to me an amazing thing. We will definitely post the QR code on our website so that people can have the interactive slide deck and be able to link out to all those wonderful data sets and resources. Why don't you get started then with your demo and we'll continue.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So this is the discovery environment, and it resides inside CyVerse. So the discovery environment will be just a collection of different sets that you can run. So I will run a Jupyter Lab geospatial, and I think, okay, so let's see. Okay, I'll sign in and log in. So geospatial latest, I'm sending a launch request, and okay, I have it here. Yeah, I will just stop this one and terminate and reactivate one that I had. So it's just running a container with Jupyter notebooks, and Jupyter notebooks include different kernels. You have Python, Julia, OSGeo, Planet, R, RStudio, and Shiny. Or you can run a console using Python, Julia, etc., or some other application. So I'm going to go to my home directory, and inside my directory, I have different notebooks. You can find the same notebooks over here. So just post it in the chat. Okay, everyone. You'll find some notebooks there. And the idea is to run these notebooks in using, so I'll just do the first thing is cloud native. And I'm just trying to reproduce some notebook that I found over the Microsoft Planetary Computer. So I need to install all the different requirements that that in this case my application Jupyter Notebooks for Jupyter Lab doesn't have. So I have to install some libraries. Okay, just to satisfy different requirements. I get some errors back, but at the end it will run. These are different Python libraries, raster IOs to read raster files. And then these are the main libraries I need to run. So sat search, raster IO. Also, I'm going to do some plotting. I can use matplotlib to make some plots, and raster IO plot to show some images. So I'm loading the libraries. So I have a bounding box around Prescott. These are the coordinates, and this is the area of interest. So this bounding box has these coordinates in the corners, and I'm going to be using some information that's over the element 84 site. I'm going to search for the bounding box coordinates, and then I will get some information back. And there are 2,416 items, which are just images. And then I'm going to select a date time between January 1st, 2021 and February 1st, 2021. And I want to have images which have cloud cover less than 5. And I will give the URL for the images. And then for that specific time range, there are only 6 items. And then I'm going to search bounding box, datetime, cloud cover, collection, Sentinel. I'm going to be searching on the Sentinel catalog, Sentinel-2. And then it will come back and tell me how many images it has found. And then I'm interested, for example, in computing a normalized vegetation index. So I need to combine 2 bands of the satellite, Sentinel satellite, the red band and the near infrared band. And then I will compute the NDVI, or the normalized vegetation index, combining, subtracting the near infrared minus the red band divided by the sum of the near infrared plus red. And then I will create a product. I'm not downloading, I'm just extracting the information from 2 bands for a specific time range, and also for a specific bounding box. And then I will display. And I have the vegetation index of an area in near Prescott, and it's computing. You see the kernel is busy, and it won't take that much. Okay, hopefully it will just come back. Any questions so far?
Feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions about the operation of the notebook.
These are the notebooks here, the cloud native examples. They're over GitHub, and they will have all the outputs from the run. So we are in this stage, and we will get back the NDVI for the area around Prescott. And this is the table, color table. So the NDVI the as closest one will be just like fresh green, and 0 and negative, they're just bare soil or urban cities. And then I can do an example for the Catalina Mountains. Let's see, now it's back, okay. Then again, using GeoJSON, I can do an analysis of the Catalinas around Tucson. And then I'm using GeoPandas to analyze the information. So I'm going to read a file that for a map, which is just a bounding box. And then I'm going to print the bounding box. And then I'm going to, having that bounding box, I will search for the Sentinel-2 data sets over element 84 site. I have 4,700 images, but I'm interested only on a specific time range and with cloud cover less than 5. And I'm looking for images from May 2020 to end of July 2020. So we have 148 images. So I'm going to just print how many items I have from Sentinel-2. And I have here the cloud optimized GeoTIFFs format. So we will work with this cloud with COGS, and I'm going to extract the information. And from all the 148, 49 are just cloud optimized. And then I'm going to print those who satisfy the cloud cover. And then I can see for different dates, I have different cloud covers. So I'm interested in those which have 0 cloud cover. So I think from June 28, it has 0 cloud cover, this one. So this is the name of the image. So I just, I'm going to print, and then I'm going to, again, extract the information from the red and near infrared bands. I'm going to name those images or those bands from that collection, from that date. And then I'm going to open those images using Rio or Rio and Raster.io and those, and then I'm going to do the arithmetics for combining the two bands to compute the vegetation index. And then I'm going to plot using Matplotlib, which is a Python visualization library. And then I can show it's computing. And then I will show the vegetation index for the Catalinas once I get the results. So that's the idea. You don't have to download the whole set of images. You just go and query the datasets online and then see how many images are for that specific date. And then you are trying to find images which have no cloud cover. And then once you know which images do not have any cloud cover, then you just select that specific image. And then you just go and extract the information from the specific spectrometer band. In this case, I just need the near infrared and red to construct the vegetation index of the Catalinas. So the greener the vegetation index, the fresher the leaves are, and some brown areas are just images that have old vegetation or bare ground. If they're red, there's almost bare ground. So that's an example of an application. I don't know if you have more questions.
Any questions for Carlos? think it's pretty clear, and thank you for sharing all this information. I know the work to just put together this slide presentation with all those links, but it's just an amazing collection of publicly available data sets that are there to do science. So thank you. And between that and the CyVerse resources to analyze them, I think people have a lot there to work with. If there are no questions, then we will see everybody back in the spring. We are working on a spring lineup of webinars, and please do remember to, if you're interested in FOSS, go to our website, and we'll post the registration link later this month. So thank you, everyone. I don't see any more questions. Thank you so much, Carlos. Really appreciate all that you've done today.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.